I'd like to talk about my artist statement, and a lot of people ask me about it. And it's actually a quote from the painter Nicholas Africano. And when I first saw it, it just rang a very loud bell with me. And what it is my work is about the unspeakable. It is about what cannot be described, basically. So what that means to me is that to me, a painting should be the nonverbal idea. So if you could describe something in its entirety verbally, then why paint it? If the painting is much more than the sum of its parts, if it can be spoken about, but not entirely described, it doesn't exist verbally, so it can only be talked about verbally, then I think that's an essential part of the painting. So to demonstrate that, to describe that, there's 3 paintings here over a long period of time, 2009 and 2021. So we can talk about it. What's going on here? This is myself. I posed in the backyard. It was a sunny day. Had this intense sunshine, opportunities for interesting color, and so on and so forth. Is it a expression of angst? Yes, it is, of course, obviously. Exactly what else is going on there? We can talk about a lot of things, but again, it's not in its entirety. And then this painting here, which I did this year, a few months ago, again, is a very different painting, on a lot of different levels. Has a lot of the same concerns. So from talking about my point there about nonverbal ideas, is that at any one time while I was working on either of these paintings, I couldn't tell you exactly what I was doing. And I shy away from that. I don't want to be able to do that. If I was in a place where I said, oh, this hand has to be in this position because it says this or it symbolizes that, that's exactly what I'm avoiding. However, during the time when I'm tuned in and I'm painting the way I want to be, I know I'm at a spot in a place where I'm expressing that nonverbal idea. And when I get away from it, I know it. So it's kind of like I know when it's working and I know when it's not working. Exactly what that is, can't tell you. Having just said all those things, this is more of a narrative. This is kind of the exact opposite in some respects than what I was just talking about. This was from a series of paintings that I call Bottle Girl. And it's about a woman that lived, or at least was in our neighborhood, who had some psychotic episodes, maybe. Not just expert on that. That's not her, by the way, that's my ex-wife who modeled for this. And so I would see her out in the streets, like out in front of Wegmans, you know, motioning at the sky and raging at the sky and these self-accusatory gestures like this. I never really knew what was going on, but she was an intriguing character and kind of had this story, this I could only guess at. So I was interested in that. So to some extent, this is a very even though it's painted in a very similar way, this is a very different painting from this in that it does carry a narrative, and you can debate all day long on the relative importance or conflicts or whatever's involved in that. But so I see that as in some ways being a very different painting, and in other ways being very similar to these other two.